And here's the Vegan's Almanac for today, September the 20th, 2024. Today is the birthday of Henry Stephen Salt, born on this day in 1851. Henry Salt was a British writer and campaigner for social reform in the fields of prisons, schools, economic institutions, and the treatment of animals. He was a noted ethical vegetarian, anti-vivisectionist, socialist, and pacifist. Salt is considered by some to be the father of animal rights, having been one of the first writers to argue explicitly in favor of animal rights, rather than just improvements to animal welfare, in his book Animals' Rights Considered in Relation to Social Progress, 1892. Salt's shift towards vegetarianism developed alongside his evolving social, political, and religious views, significantly influenced by Shelley, whom he regarded as a key mentor. Salt's vegetarianism was ultimately based on a deep moral conviction. He saw that meat, commonly regarded as food, was actually the flesh of animals slaughtered under harsh conditions. This understanding prompted him to scrutinize the ethical foundations of civilization, which he viewed as concealing a fundamental barbarism and violence. He identified this underlying brutality in both humanity's treatment of other species and in political, economic, and social relationships as demonstrated by war, imperialism, and the social injustices resulting from a competitive capitalist system. Salt's commitment to vegetarianism deepened over time. In 1885, he was named a vice president of the Vegetarian Society. The following year, he published A Plea for Vegetarianism and Other Essays. Salt argued that vegetarianism was not merely a dietary choice, but a critical component of a broader social reform movement aimed at creating a more humane, just, and civil society, which he termed humanitarianism. Henry Salt said, "The notion of the life of an animal having no moral purpose belongs to a class of ideas which cannot possibly be accepted by the advanced humanitarian thought of the present day. It is a purely arbitrary assumption, at variance with our best instincts, at variance with our best science. If we are ever going to do justice to the lower races, we must get rid of the antiquated notion of a great gulf fixed between them and mankind, and must recognize the common bond that unites all living beings in one universal brotherhood." September 20th is also the birthday of one of Salt's colleagues, Lizzy Lind of Hageby, born on this day in 1878. Lizzy Lind of Hageby was a Swedish-British feminist and animal rights advocate who became a prominent anti-vivisectionist activist in England in the early 20th century. She attended vivisections at University College London and in 1903 published The Shambles of Science, which accused researchers of having vivisected a dog without anesthesia. The ensuing scandal, known as the Brown Dog Affair, included a libel trial, damages to one of the researchers, and rioting in London by medical students. Lind of Hageby was opposed to vivisection both for the sake of the animals and because she regarded it as bad science, though she told a royal commission on vivisection that she had no objection to vivisection, provided that the vivisectors experiment on themselves. In 1906, Lind of Hageby co-founded the Animal Defense and Anti-Vivisection Society, and later ran an animal sanctuary at Farn House in Dorset with the Duchess of Hamilton. She was also active in Henry Stephen Salt's Humanitarian League. She became a British citizen in 1912 and spent the rest of her life writing and speaking about animal protection and the link between that and feminism. During World War I, Lind of Hageby set up veterinary hospitals for horses hurt on the battlefield, and with the cooperation of the French government, created the Purple Cross service for wounded horses. And here is an anonymous poem for today, The Drunkard and the Pig. It was early last September, as near as I remember. I was strolling down the street in drunken pride. But my knees were all aflutter, and I landed in the gutter, and a pig came up and lay down by my side. Yes, I lay there in the gutter, thinking thoughts I could not utter, when a lady passing by did softly say, "You can tell a man who boozes by the company he chooses." And the pig got up and slowly walked away. The Drunkard and the Pig, anonymously written. This has been the Vegan's Almanac, with the reminder to recognize the common bond that unites all living beings in one universal brotherhood.